Imagine this. A group of fake HOA cops storms onto a black man's property, flashing badges demanding he leave his own home. They thought he was just another easy target. What they didn't know was that this man was the most feared. Navy SEAL alive, and when you come after a warrior on his own ground, you'd better be ready for the fight of your life. The morning started like any other. A cool breeze swept across the neighborhood, carrying the smell of freshly cut grass and the sound of sprinklers ticking in the distance. At the edge of the street, in a modest but proud home, Darius Carter, a tall, broad-shouldered man with calm eyes, was sipping his coffee. To his neighbors, Darius was just another quiet man who kept to himself. Some thought he was a farmer. Others guessed he was a mechanic. Nobody really knew. He never bragged, never showed off. He simply lived in peace. But beneath that calm exterior was a secret most would never imagine. Darius had spent 15 years as a Navy SEAL, serving in the most dangerous missions across the globe. From deserts to oceans, from hostage rescues to counter-terror raids, he had seen it all. And he had survived what most men never could. Now, he just wanted peace, his home, his land, his sanctuary. But peace doesn't last long when envy, hatred, and arrogance come knocking. And on this morning, they came in the form of fake cops, pretending to be HOA enforcers, dressed in tactical gear, flashing phony badges, and carrying an attitude of authority. They came for Darius. But they had no idea who they were really dealing with. It began with a pounding knock, not a polite tap, not a neighborly ring, but a loud, aggressive pounding, the kind meant to intimidate. Darius set down his coffee. His instincts, honed from years of combat, immediately sharpened. He moved quietly to the door, checking through the side window. 3 men stood there, dressed in black polo shirts with HOA enforcement patches, tactical belts, fake radios, and holstered pistols. They looked like a SWAT team. But something was off. Their uniforms didn't match. Their holsters were cheap. Their body language screamed arrogance, not professionalism. One of them barked, "Open up, HOA enforcement. You're in violation of community codes. Step outside." Immediately. Darius didn't move. He watched. Measured, calculated. These weren't real cops, not even close. Finally, he opened the door just a crack. His deep voice was calm but firm. "Do you have a warrant?" The tallest one smirked. "We don't need one. This is HOA property, and you're trespassing on community land. We're here to escort you off the premises. Step outside, or we'll take you out." Darius's jaw tightened. Trespassing on his own land? This wasn't just harassment, it was a setup. And that's when he saw it. The fake badges, plastic, shiny in the wrong way. These serial numbers were stickers. These men weren't officers. They weren't even real HOA reps. They were imposters, thugs dressed up, trying to play law. Darius knew what was coming next. And he was ready. Ears of military conditioning surged through Darius's veins. His heart didn't race, his breathing stayed steady. He was calm, calmer than the men standing on his porch. Because unlike them, he had been in real war zones. He had faced enemies far more dangerous than neighborhood bullies with fake badges. The lead thug shoved the door wide open, stepping inside. Big mistake. In a flash, Darius grabbed the man's wrist, twisted it downward, and slammed him against the wall. The pistol clattered to the ground. The second man lunged forward, but Darius's elbow met his jaw with bone-cracking force. The man stumbled, dazed. The third reached for his weapon, but before he could pull it, Darius was on him, swift, precise, controlled. He disarmed him with a move so fast the man barely realized his gun was gone. All 3 men, who minutes ago thought they had control, were now on the floor, groaning, shocked, humiliated. And Darius, he stood tall, eyes cold, like a predator who had just reminded his prey exactly who they were dealing with. "You came to the wrong house," he said in a voice so calm it sent shivers down their spines. Darius didn't just kick them out. He interrogated them. "Who sent you?" he demanded. At first they resisted, but Darius knew how to break men without laying another finger on them. His stare, his silence, his presence. Finally, the truth spilled. These weren't cops. They weren't HOA workers. They were hired muscle, sent by a group of wealthy neighbors who wanted Darius gone. They didn't like him, didn't like his independence, didn't like that a black man owned one of the most beautiful properties in the community. So, they concocted a plan. Dress up as HOA enforcers, intimidate him, scare him into leaving. They thought it would be easy. But instead of scaring Darius, they had awakened something far more dangerous. Darius called the real authorities. When the sheriff's department arrived, the imposters were still on the ground, handcuffed with zip, ties Darius kept from his military days. The sheriff took one look at the scene and raised an eyebrow. What the hell happened here? They tried to arrest me, Darius said plainly. Arrest you? Who are you? The sheriff asked. Darius looked him dead in the eye. Former Navy SEAL, and I don't take kindly to fake cops breaking into my house. The sheriff nodded slowly, and in that moment he realized this was no ordinary homeowner. The imposters were hauled away, but the story wasn't over, because the people who sent them were still out there. And Darius wasn't about to let it go. Over the next week, Darius went into full mission mode. He gathered intel, observed, listened. The HOA board members who plotted against him were nervous. They whispered at meetings, they avoided eye contact, but they knew they had crossed the wrong man. Darius could have sought revenge, could have exposed them publicly, dragged their names through the mud. But instead he chose a different path. Strategy. He hired a lawyer, filed complaints, presented evidence of the fake cops. The case grew bigger and bigger until state investigators got involved. One by one, the corrupt HOA leaders crumbled. Fines, charges, public disgrace. Their reputations, their money, their power, all gone. Meanwhile, Darius's standing in the community skyrocketed. Neighbors who once ignored him now respected him. People who had doubted him now stood by his side. And the HOA practically dismantled. In the end, Darius didn't just defend his home. He exposed corruption. He showed that bullies, whether they hide behind fake badges or real ones, can't stand against truth, courage, and resilience. Most importantly, he proved that no matter how quiet someone seems, you never know the battles they've fought, or the warrior that lives within them. For Darius, the ranch wasn't just land. It was peace. And for once he had secured it, for himself and for those who believed in standing up to injustice. Sometimes, the most dangerous man is the one who just wants to be left alone. And the fake HOA cops. They learned that lesson the hard way. If this story gave you chills, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more powerful stories of justice, resilience, and revenge. What do you think? Should Darius have gone further? Or was his calm, calculated strategy the perfect response? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. And remember, when you stand your ground with courage, even the biggest threats can fall apart.